kind of guy. I gotta have my black coffee in the morning.
Yeah, I know for sure. I have to put something in it. Usually, I'll take almond milk and froth it.
I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about almond milk, to be honest. But I'm also getting around to trying different types of milks just to see taste and variation and stuff. But I don't know. I can't escape my regular like milk and dark coffee, I guess, because I can't have anything in my coffee. Gotta have it straight up black.
Yeah, well, you can taste the coffee better that way.
I think so. And the occasional tea, because I'm into passion fruit tea right now. I feel like I kind of go in waves too, because it was green tea for a little while.
Green tea. I make green tea lattes, the matcha.
Ooh,
the kind you have to froth with the I don't know, I got one at IKEA.
Yeah. I don't know the terminology, but I know exactly
I don't know what to call it. Yeah, it has a little circle in it, like a coil.
Yes.
And it makes magical.
Is it hard to do?
That's all I do. And sometimes I'll put a little vanilla in the almond milk and froth it. It doesn't even need sweetened, like the stuff from Trader Joe's. If you get the pink one or the blue one in their like milk section.
Yeah.
Live
is the frosting thing hard to do? Or is it just kind of, does it build itself up?
It builds itself up. Sometimes I'll use like one of those microwavable Pyrex like pouring things, and I'll heat it for like maybe 30 seconds in the microwave and then froth it, and it'll get really like, looks like one of those bistro.
Yeah, like one of those expensive drinks that you get. It's just like, why am I paying this much for it?
Exactly.
Well, sure. I flipped this on, so we're live talking about tea and all the things. So
you guys know my coffee secret.
Thanks so much for joining us this evening. My name is Nilay Patel, and I've got the fabulous Miss Danielle Wickes here, the creative director for John Bead. Is that your official title?
It is, Nicole.
We're all proud of you. I think it was well-deserved, and I can't think of a better person that should have that title for a great company that has really quality products and is just, I love this like ability that we have to collaborate with each other.
Me too.
Well, I'm going to put on my headphones because I was supposed to do that, but they're on the charger, and that way I can hear you better.
Oh,
but
okay.
Danielle, do you want to talk about today's project, which we're going to be using? Can you hear me okay?
I hear you great. Yep.
Okay, good. I feel like this was partially charged, so we'll see how far we get tonight. About tonight's project, which apparatus we're going to be using for our project, and just some of the John Bead products that we're going to be using.
Sure, yeah. First thing I did is I ran out and got the new SilverSilk Loom.
And I believe, Miss Juliana Avila. I want to call her Julie. I don't know what, but I think she also goes by Julie. Miss Jules is on here too, commenting over.
Oh, is she there?
Yeah.
I've never got to meet you. I'd love to meet you.
You hear that, Jules? You
got a new friend. Her loom. One of the first looms I ever got. So the blue one.
I'm sure she was delighted to hear that. And you guys should connect, I think.
Yeah.
But she's on, and I saw Joan also posting some links. So hi, ladies out there.
Hi, Joan.
And we've got several folks tuning in. Miss Wanda over on YouTube, and Mimi and Vicky. Miss Colleen over on YouTube as well. Lovely to see you ladies. Stephanie is here. Sorry I interrupted. I just got a little excited. So please.
No, please do. No, I can't see who's here. So I definitely wanted to say hi to everybody. Thank you.
And Teresa and Gretchen are here too.
Oh, hi, Teresa and Gretchen. I recognize all these names. The fun cheering on at the lives. But yeah, so this is the first thing I thought of, and I was just kind of trying to see, well, what else can I use it for? And it actually is perfectly, so these little notches on it, they're perfect for the pipe chain.
Mm-hmm.
They hold it in place. And so then I had a way to secure my pipe chain, and from there I just started tying knots on top of the pipe chain.
I think it was genius. Do you like mixed media design, or do you you do? Okay, so
I love everything.
Aw. Well, you do everything so well, like perfectly. You're one phenomenal designer, and I think you're one of your strong suits is to take different types of materials and compose it into something beautiful. And want to say, can we give a shout out to Nilay's hair? Wow, it's a perfection. It's getting kind of long, actually.
Your hair always looks good. It always does.
Not always. I went into my job today, so I had to kind of tame this wild beast today. But anyway, yeah, one of your strong suits is to take different mediums and turn it into a beautiful design. So I was delighted that you were inspired by pipe chain and, you know, trying to then work it on a loom with macrame. I haven't macrameed in a while, so I'm looking forward to this tutorial.
Yeah, I was inspired to do it because we have a really cool line of knotting cord at John Bead.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just got every single color you can think of, and really awesome spools, so you don't run out. And so that's what I started doing, was looking at the colors, and I started holding them up to the pipe chain and seeing what would look cool. And then I grabbed seed beads. Sorry,
that's all right.
But yeah, so I started grabbing seed beads, and I love matching stuff. So it was just really fun to start matching everything up. You know, like it's basically, I feel like it's one of those, I love a design where the recipe is short, where you don't have to like dig through your whole stash to find this and that piece of this. We're really just talking about 3 pieces: your cord, your pipe chain, and a tuba seed bead mix.
Oh, fabulous. Okay, and the tuba seed bead mix is size 6 or is it size 8? Yeah,
but you're not stuck on that. If you can get the knotting cord to fit through your seed bead, you've got it. And so I am using size 6 because there's just so many great mixes in that size that are available that it kind of seemed like the great fit. And it was also a good size next to the pipe chain. It kind of stands out. Here's that finished one. So it really has like a bold look, I feel like.
I think so too. I love that color combination. And you had sent me, I think, the same materials. So I was going to attempt to do another colorway with you tonight. And I guess I can flip it over to, I'm going to add this to the stream. I'll still have both of our beautiful faces up. And then your workboard.
I'll fix that. Sorry about that.
Not a problem. There you go. Yes. I love that the John Bead logo is on a bead mat. I kind of now want to
do. Oh my gosh, I made this.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I was impressed. So Meredith taught me how to make. You know Meredith Roddy. She taught me how to do this.
I must know these ways. We'll talk later.
Oh, I'll make you one. I can make you one.
Yes. Oh my God, that'd be amazing. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the jewel loom for a second, because that's new to SilverSilk, relatively new. And this was a brainchild between, I would say it's more of Jules' like mind coming alive than it is mine, because we both knew we wanted to use SilverSilk together somehow, and she has an incredible product out there that's already a bead loom, and we wanted to work together. So with her knowledge of how looms work, what they're supposed to do, and the versatility that comes with it, she put together a prototype that I'm actually using. I shipped mine out to a friend, so sorry, Jules. That's fine. I think she's sending me another one, but it was a friend in Switzerland, and that wasn't able to have access to shipping. So I was like, you know what, just take mine, and please create something with it. But she made a prototype, sent it out to me, and so I tried it with the SilverSilk. And these grooves hold up to 3mm sized cording, which is perfect for pipe chain. So I feel like that, having that added on there, plus the ability to use the side grooves to wrap, you know, whatever chain you're using around, and to warp it, which is to create additional lines to loom between, to weave between. And then also to have grooves in the back, which I thought was genius for larger cords or fibers. It was just a real like inventive product come to life that I got to have my hands on. And she was kind enough to brand it for SilverSilk. And we are just delighted that we're going to be using it many times throughout the year. And many of us folks who've already grabbed one have been using it and have been making some incredible stuff. So we haven't macrameed with it. So I'm excited that you took this and created your own project rendition and technique around another product, which is pipe chain that I haven't loomed with because I didn't know it could.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, it's a really cool product. It's a neat concept. I think it's great. There's a ton of things you can do with it. So a lot of possibilities here.
I think so too. So you're using the pipe chain. So what are we doing here for our setup?
You know, I kept it really simple. I just went ahead and put one of the. It's so perfect that I just got it to work just by doing that.
Oh, okay.
And it held it pretty tight. If you wanted it to be tighter, you could bring it down and tighten it here first. And that would just be extra secure. Ooh. But truth be told, I didn't even do that. I just had it the way it was. But that's good too.
Okay.
And then I didn't even cut mine because I wanted to wait and see, when I had the bracelet done, because maybe I could save a little on my pipe chain.
That is smart. I didn't think about it.
So I usually have a tape measure handy so that I can tell how long I'm getting something as I'm making it. So I keep stuff like that handy. But yeah, so that was all I did. Just created some tension by kind of maybe holding it here, pulling it down to the next notch here. You could fold it over if you want. And there it is.
Fabulous.
And you can get under it. So this is one of the cool things is you can get under it really nicely. With macrame, that really helps.
Yeah, I do like that it's elevated. I also like that. I would say also that the length of this is meant for a bracelet. And we're all different sizes and stuff, but I love the fact that you're working directly off the spool. And with pipe chain, because you can stuff any sort of stringing material into it, you don't really have to worry about trying to figure out where the clasp and stuff needs to fall necessarily, because you just later trim it to whatever size you need and then just add on that clasp. Yeah, so there's that perfect example of it. And in this case, you stuffed beading wire through it, right?
I did. I used, in the case of the one I'm showing, I used this stuff.
Ooh,
and I think it's onyx.
Flex yummy goodiness. Love that.
And I thought I'd grabbed a couple other colors for tonight to see if I could make them work.
Coordinate. I love that.
And then that's really the crimps. You need some crimps and then some findings. And I played around with some large hole spacer beads and a toggle. Kind of to hide my crimps really. And to give me spots for charms. Because I have to put charms on everything. It's something I just have to do, I guess. And it's like, yeah, that's the whole design. It was just so easy and fun. And it's just basic square knots.
Oh, I love it. So, okay, let me make your screen bigger. That way you can probably really talk us through how to get started here.
Sounds good. So what I did is I kind of turned it toward myself. And I didn't really worry too much about the top or the bottom of where where I started. I just kind of started around like right here, maybe. And so for knotting cord, cut about a wingspan. So 65 inches or so. That will be more than enough to get you through the end. If you wanted to give it a little extra, maybe 70 inches, that wouldn't hurt. And when you trim your cord, I often trim it at an angle. So kind of like you would with leather, because it is going to be strung through a seed bead. And seed beads are, they are pretty good hole diameter, but it still helps to have the ability to string.
And how much did you take off again?
I cut between 65 and 75 inches, depending on the length you think you might want it to become in the end.
So probably about, let's see, I think in feet. So probably like 5 feet.
Well, so what I actually, truthfully, I don't actually measure. I do a wingspan.
Oh.
So
okay. 2 wingspans.
One arm to my other arm is like a plane. Because then I know how much I could pull thread, right? So,
That makes sense. I'm getting my wingspan, which probably is shorter than what people really think it is. There we go. Okay, so you need to cut it at an angle, a slight angle to get it through the beads.
yeah, and I have one more trick to share if you're having any trouble at all with getting the cord to feed the bead on. If you have a burner, and this is just optional, you can also use things like nail polish, like clear nail polish or glue, but I like to take a burner and I like to kind of just take the ends and just cook them a little bit like that. I may have gone a little.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
And so all I'm doing is just burning them into because then it makes it stiffer. And I can take my flush cutters and even just trim it at an angle one more time. And that is going to make it really easy to put a seed bead on.
That is magical.
You'll need to do both sides. And if you don't have a burner, just do your best to flush cut it with a kind of side angle. And you can always redo that cut if it starts to fray as you work. So there's one I haven't burnt yet. Let's just see how easy it is to get on there. And it still works even without the burner, but the burner's added magic because it just makes it a little step easier for.
I feel like, yeah, because it's nylon, it would probably make it a little stiffer, maybe.
Exactly. It turns it into what kind of seems like almost a needle.
Oh, okay.
So I have fresh batteries.
Does John Bead carry that burner, or is that?
At the moment, I'm using my wildfire burner.
Oh, okay. I think I probably have one of those actually. Beadalon, they would have it.
Yeah, and there's like a couple of different versions out there of I think they would all work, right? Because they all kind of have the same thing going on where they're just gonna heat up the little coil there at the end. But yeah, so I did both sides because I have to put seed beads on both of these ends.
Perfect. Cool. Okay.
But definitely use what you have. Like if you're struggling with it and the side cutting isn't doing the trick, you can always like the clear nail polish. That's a really great trick. Just putting a little clear nail polish and then just take your fingers and do that.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Another thing you can do, and this is a little trickier, but you can hold it high above a flame, like a candle, like a tea light. And once it's kind of like a little bit heated, just kind of give it a twist, I guess. That can also sometimes work. It's a little trickier to do. I don't always get that one to work, but yeah, so once you've got that done, just go ahead and find the midpoint. Well, first thing I did was I brought one side underneath. So just like you're gonna do, kind of like when you're looming, you just bring one side under. And then just bring the ends together to find the midpoint.
Cool.
Sorry about that. I keep going off camera on you guys there.
But. You're doing great.
But I found the midpoint here, and I'm just going to kind of pinch it. And all I have to do now is just start some square knots to get it to stay in place. And so from here to start a square knot, what I would do is just kind of bring one side down over like that. So you're creating like a backwards P with this side. And then take this other cord. And it's the one that's running underneath, right? So here's that little P side, and just hold it. Take this one, bring it over that cord. So it's going to go over the one that I'm holding here, under the pipe chain, and through the P on the other side. And I'll take this apart and do that again if that's hard to see. But basically, you get what's the beginning of a square knot there.
Okay, I understood that.
Should I show it one more time, do you think, or?
Yeah, let's go through it maybe one more time, and then because establishing the knot, because it's going to be a repeating format for the rest of it anyway.
Yeah,
So the
exactly.
beginning is always the toughest for a lot of folks, though.
I find that's true too. And if anyone else is struggling with getting that part figured out, you can also do this. You can find the midpoint here and then just go under like that and hold it.
Ooh, good idea. Mm-hmm.
So then just go ahead and pull that loop up. And I'm just holding that in place in that spot, taking the cord that's on the left. You could also do the right if you want. Taking the cord that's on the left and just holding it with that loop there. And then the one that's on the right, bringing it over this cord. And sometimes I'll kind of like fold it like this but you can also just feed it this way too. But so I'm bringing it over this cord and then under the pipe chain and up through that loop that we made on that side. And as I'm pulling this long strand through, I'm just holding everything in place with my thumb. It's a little bit of pressure. Just keep it from sliding around too much. And you'll get a little knot.
Perfect.
And so the knot will have a little hat. I call that a little hat.
I love that. Mine has a hat too.
And that's like your indicator to know which side to start the loop on, because the loop changes side every time.
Mm-hmm.
With a square knot, if I did my P loop on this side last time,
Mm-hmm.
I want to do my P loop on this side next time. And if you lose your place, you can always remember by finding the hat. The side the hat is on is the side you're going to make your loop.
Okay.
So I would just take this cord here, whatever cord you have that's on this side, make that loop, and then hold it, and then take the other one and go over that cord. So bringing that one over, and then bringing it under the pipe chain and through that loop.
So Jules is asking if there are equal lengths on both sides, and the answer is yes to that, correct? Because we kind of started it with equal lengths before.
Yeah, exactly. Because we found the midpoint with the goal in mind of having just about the same amount on either side. For some reason, it's never exact for me. Like no matter what I do or how careful like there's always one
true for me too. One of my sides is a little bit longer, but that's not a huge difference of a length, but you know, just enough for me to be a little bit like, what did I do? Or, you know.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so I've noticed that happens to me every time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even worry about it. I just give myself extra length when I cut the cord the first time, so that I'm just going to have a little extra on one side, right?
Yeah. So we get that wingspan, get all of the cord.
Exactly.
And with the spool from John Bead, I'm thinking that you'll never run out of nylon cord ever again.
No,
so
you get a
here.
lot of cord on here. Really, really good value.
Uh-huh. I agree. So how many times do we macrame back and forth?
You can do it to your liking, basically, but on the samples, it looks like I started with 3 hats on each side.
Oh, okay.
It's harder to see on this one, but it looks like I did 5 or 6 knots. There's 2 so far. Let me make 3 more and we'll see what 5 looks like and we can decide if we like it.
Okay.
And when I'm bringing my cords under, I tend to do this where it just makes it easier for me to grab it. It's the same thing as doing this. But when your cord is super long, that takes forever, that pulling through there.
Mm-hmm.
And so a little speed trick for especially when you've just got a brand new macrame going. So here's my P loop on this side. This is my knot number 4. I'll take this and then just bring it like that.
Oh, and then pull the rest through. That's so clever.
It saves you a little bit of time.
Yeah. I like that. So I am in the process of completing my loops, and then I thought I would string some bead, or completing my hats, I guess. My knots, however you want to phrase it.
Yeah, I think there's an actual name for them, but I don't know what it is.
I
should
can't
figure that
remember for
out.
the life of me. I have to get my camper's guidebook. I feel like it would be in there.
So there's that's like five or six knots roughly. I got 3 hats on either side.
Oh,
Your first couple of hats are going to hide underneath a little bit. See, they kind of
right.
tuck under. I didn't worry about it. I just let them go.
Gotcha. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna remove the solo layout, and I was gonna show you guys. Whoops, strung some beads on, but here's what
Hey.
mine's looking like so far. I should just put a second camera in, but
You can go for it if you want to. Oh, wow, that's cool. I can see it pretty well. That looks great.
I think the Loom is a nice like prop for presenting things.
It helps it focus too when you're holding it up, so that's really great. You don't have to like hold your hand behind it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll just keep you.
Oh, cool. I like the colors you're going with too. It's going to be really beautiful.
You. Yeah, I think
you said that's
I'm
a
pretty
red
excited
pipe
about
chain?
This one's a coral, yeah,
Oh.
and then you're working with, it looks like the green turquoise.
Yeah, I love this one.
I'm a huge fan of the green turquoise myself, but I feel like I do a lot of teals and not enough of the other colors, and I need to give the other colors some love because teal's also just an easy color for me to get into.
Oh, same here. Yeah. Best color ever.
It is. It goes with everything. I think we had kind of talked about that with green earlier.
I love green.
I like this trick that you just showed us because that's making this weave process go a lot faster as I'm doing it here.
Oh my gosh, you did all that just now?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, see, this goes fast.
I'm saying I'm ready to make a bracelet tonight.
Oh, awesome. All I did here on my end was I just put 3 seed beads on each of the cords.
Oh, those pink ones are beautiful.
I am loving this pink with the green turquoise.
Mm-hmm.
Just magic. And then I'm just going to take a quick check on which side my last hat was on. It looks like it's this side. So, and the reason I care about it for this spot is to avoid that spin, that macrame gets, where it'll spin if you...
Oh, yeah, if you just go the one direction, which might be kind of cool for another type of bracelet style.
It would be gorgeous, yeah. So if that happens, happy accident, right?
Right.
But there, I just made another square knot, and that's all I did. And it's going to be a little loose, the first one with your beads, right? But once you get this one on.
I feel like I'm like conscientiously looking for the hat now, which helps to guide the next knot or where I need to make it. So again, that was just a really good terminology tip.
Yeah, thanks. I can't remember where I got it from. I don't know if I came up with it or not. I might have heard it from someone else. I just need to figure out where I heard it. We all learn from each other, and so
it's true. So true.
I'm trying to remember how many knots I did in between seed beads. So it looks like I started with 5 or 6, and then I started going down to 3 or 4 in between each of the segments. And I went with 3 seed beads, and then 4, and then 3, and then 4.
Oh, okay.
But that you could do whatever you want. That was just what I was doing that day. And
yeah, I was thinking that the pattern can be kind of alternated if you wanted to. As long as there's like enough knots to keep it stable, probably.
Exactly, yeah.
The beads. And I'm also wondering, as I was stringing this, I was thinking we've made a bracelet, but I wonder how this could be turned into like a focal piece for a necklace or some other, like, I bet it could be a cool ring too.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. I was also thinking of, you know how some macrame designs, they start with what looks like hitch knots and they come off like a bar. Well, you could do a macrame design like that off the pipe chain as a necklace, and it would be almost like macrame fringe coming down off the pipe chain, like a choker link necklace. That would be really cute.
I think that'd be super cool.
I'm not really good at that kind of macrame. I've never learned how to do the flowy, like the flow down kind. You know, where it like it's wide and then it comes down to a point.
Oh yeah, no, that's way well above my skill level for macrame.
Me
But
too.
this is for me, this has been just an easy thing to like learn and get back into. I haven't macrameed in a while though. I will say that this is probably my first time in many years. But I love getting back into it and just dabbling, and magic stuff happens as I'm. But like, look how quickly this has come together with just some technique, and I just have to
Oh
keep
wow,
repeating myself for the rest of it. But it's so easy to
that's
do.
beautiful. Actually, I like yours. I like the way you've done that, where you make them all the same width. That looks really
Yeah,
cool.
thank you. And I thought that's what yours was too, but now upon closer inspection, I was like, oh, she got a little
No,
fancy with it and
I like yours
made
better
stuff
though.
in
No,
variation.
I might pull it out and copy you
I
because you
like
can
your
see more
random
of the color.
style, and it matches like the different types of beads and stuff that you're using too. It's quite fun.
Oh yeah, but yours is neat. It's got symmetry, so I love a good symmetrical design.
It's fun. It's an easy thing to, I guess, for me because I haven't done it in such a long time, and this is a fairly newer pattern for me. Having some guidelines is quite nice.
Oh,
I like it. Let's see. I feel like we're both just busy nodding away.
I know, right?
That's
I'm
kind
gonna
of,
do it.
it's quite relaxing, especially after a crazy afternoon. We did do an Easter egg hunt at work,
Oh, you
and
did?
it was for adults. So like there were large eggs that had everything from like mini bottles of booze to like lottery tickets to Amazon gift cards and just like stuff tucked away in these giant eggs that they hid around the
Oh my gosh.
office. And it was a lot of fun. I couldn't find any eggs for the life of me, so my coworker helped me after he found his eggs.
Aw, that's my kind of egg hunt. That's cool.
It was fun.
It has real prizes in those eggs.
Yeah, right. Well, they had a chair of candy too, which I didn't take all of that, of course, but I just my coworker did for his children. It's a good filler material in those eggs, though, I guess.
That's so neat. I need to figure out what I'm doing for Sunday. Luckily for
Oh,
me, my
yeah.
mom plans
Mhm.
ahead sometimes for the kiddos because she likes to do that kind of stuff. She's really good at it.
Yeah.
So like she'll send me all the little egg stuffers and she'll tell me put this one in that egg and that. She can't make it up this year, but
Oh. Well.
and my
Good
oldest is
video.
sick today. I know it's not. It's like
Oh.
we had spring break last week and
Mhm.
we made it exactly 3 days into getting back from spring break, and of course one of them's sick already.
You know what's
What?
going around though, because the same coworker that I was talking about, he was also starting to feel under the weather,
Oh no.
and I think it's just probably a seasonal thing too. Where actually this morning was freezing cold, and then I feel like since we're hitting summer, it shouldn't be, but it's just allergies and stuff. My parents had allergies actually upon coming back from a trip, so my mom, I think, had a fever for a day or two, but she's all right now.
Oh,
They're
I'm
out
good.
traveling in Dallas now, so I feel like nothing's going to keep them down for too long. But it's just stuff
Aw.
going around. So hopefully your kiddo will be okay.
Yeah, they get cold so much. It's just all the
Mm.
time. It seems like they've always got something. And we got some really weird weather this week. We got below freezing, which for April in
No
Seattle,
way.
that's like not
So
normal
weird.
for this area.
Yeah.
I was not loving it. I'm like, it's cold. It's my
You're
fault
in
too because I got
Seattle,
out all
right?
my shorts. Yeah.
Mm. Although I guess I don't, it's hard for me to say what kind of weather to expect. Actually, anywhere outside of Oklahoma or even in Oklahoma, because we're still like getting real cold some days here this week, which is silly
Ah,
for us. But yeah, for Seattle, I guess I would have figured it would have been a cooler weather. Maybe not below freezing though. Or
Yeah, like
yeah.
usually it's just being like really annoyingly rainy,
Uh-huh.
or it just rains all day, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was hailing. We had like really really big hail yesterday around like 3 o'clock, right about the time to go get the kids from school. It was just pouring,
Oh wow.
and
That's
it was so loud. It was
unacceptable.
just like these big like hailstorm. And it rolled in and went away soon, luckily. But I was
We're
like, it's
stepping
pretty.
into our tornado season, so
Oh
y'all
no!
keep your fingers crossed that nothing crazy happens around here. You
Yikes!
never know. I feel like we've been lucky though. We kind of live in our little bubble in Tulsa, but yeah, they've come close. Although it doesn't really faze me anymore. I feel like I should also have a basement, but I don't. So let's take my
Oh no!
chances.
Ah, oh no! You're scaring me now.
Oh
I hope
no,
you have
typical
a safe place to
Oklahomans.
run to. For...
Go outside and look for the tornado. That's what we do. It's like where? I don't see one. I just see rain and hail.
Oh my gosh! I'm gonna totally picture you now out there and like, show me this tornado.
Yeah, I got my iced tea. I'm on the like patio, just chilling.
That is awesome.
Where is that tornado?
Oh, that's the coolest thing ever.
But other weather scares me because like we'll have piles of snow during winter or early time in the year, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. We don't really have a whole lot of snow around here, so that scares me to be like, it's just like, oh, do I have enough groceries? Am I going to be able to get through this snowstorm, yada yada. So stuff like that scares me, where I have like true immobility for severe storms like that.
Yeah, same here. We're not really set up for roads don't get plowed right away, and everybody just kind of stops doing everything when it snows. They cancel school, and there's no Starbucks. So,
Oh no, yeah, that would be terrible for sure.
oh my gosh, that's
We go.
beautiful. And that's
I'm
what, oh
digging
my
this color
gosh,
scheme.
the
It's got
coral with that purple. That's the grape color. That's really
yes.
beautiful.
Actually, I lost the label.
That is so neat.
Yeah, it's a purple grape.
That is so cool.
I can't believe I've like already gotten this far with it. I feel like
You're
I
really
just started
fast.
it and it just goes by so quickly.
That's amazing. I've only got maybe halfway through on mine, but that is so cool. I don't know if I'll get it all the way to the end, but I can still demo it, finishing it even without. I'll put another like loop on it and see.
Oh, we got some time if
Are we
you
good?
want to still. Yeah, we're good. We're great.
Cool. Okay. I'll pick up the pace a little bit.
I think our folks are enjoying just our general chatter here.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. That's fun. I actually really enjoy. I turn on the lives and I listen when I'm working on stuff because it just feels like you have friends in the room.
It is. It's truly beading with friends. I've got a concerned friend here saying, let's see, Marianne is saying, tornadoes are potentially deadly. Be careful. Don't worry. Even though I say I do all this stuff, I don't really. I'm hiding in one of my corners with the news on my phone. And occasionally, if not all the time, because I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be my end or not, but like, I'll have a glass of wine and watch the news on my phone while I'm hiding in the hallway in the dark. Like, it calms me down. So what can I say?
You've got a glass of wine. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm saying that's the way to do a storm.
I've never lived
But I
anywhere.
do know other people who do go out on their porch and look for tornadoes, though. I will say that. I do know people that do that. My neighbor, I think.
Brave
does
folks.
that.
Seriously brave.
He's got the patio for it, though. I'll say that. Let's see. I'm sifting through some comments here. I'm outside Covington and it's been fairly steady all day. Snowed and hailed at my sister's in Federal Way this morning. My gosh, it's just so
You're near me.
unpredictable.
Oh, there's Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Oh, is that
That's
okay?
Cindy.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah. Yeah, so she's experiencing the same thing since she's
Yeah, our weather,
nearby.
it's just the weirdest weather. Because I mean, am I forgetting is like normal for our weather to be this cold this time of year? 'Cause I feel like it's not. Like it's
Has
usually
been.
over by maybe like March at the latest. You might get some freezing weather, but
Mhm.
yeah. I guess it's only the second week of April. Within the margin of error there.
Indeed. Oh, you know what I wanted to ask about since it's us folks here. Is how did the because I was wanting to be in it, but I couldn't make it work time wise. The bead, I don't know if it's a bead challenge or a bead get together that
Oh yeah, the beach
you,
challenge.
Sam, and Sarah got to do.
Well, basically, I made a design that I copied from something Sarah made in one of her lives before.
It's so easy to do because A, she just shows us the entire way to do it, right? And then
Yeah.
it's just beautiful no matter what she does. So I can see I would probably have done the same. And I saw Sam pop in.
Oh, hey
Let me
Sam.
flash this up. He says we got high 80s last week. Ah, I'm so angry. Because I'm ready for some warm weather, warmish weather.
Oh yeah, they were having like a
But
heat wave.
he's got some crazy winds and cold this week. So it's kind of been like that around here too. So, but I'm ready to get back to that spring weather. But anyways, not to go off topic, I wanted to ask you how that all went.
No, it was really cool. So I loved the designs that Sarah made and Rachel Malice made this really cool where
Rachel,
she used a Sharpie pen to create these
really?
loops that okay, she makes her own connectors. I'm always lamenting like, oh, I need
Oh
the perfect
wow,
connector for this or that.
yeah.
She never has to worry about that. She just makes one with a Sharpie and some wire. So I was just in awe over that. And I've wanted to copy it since I saw it and haven't gotten around to trying it myself yet.
I feel like some people are just really great. Like they're hardwired to manufacture their own things, right? And they're so good at it. And the rest of us are just sitting here wondering, like, A, like, how did you do that? And then B, if I tried that, it wouldn't be as good. And then
That's true.
C, didn't I just have a connector that's like something like I needed, but it's in my stash of all the shit that I have over here, like, and I don't want to go look through it. So
For real, yeah. Well, plus I didn't bring like my hammer or any of those things. I didn't have anything to work hard in it with. Not that I would
Mm,
have even thought of it because it's just
yeah.
totally genius.
We'll just leave that up to Rachel.
Yeah. So but you know how like being a seed beater, when you get on things like design challenges, you're kind of like, oh no, I can't seed bead. So
Oh yeah. I want to do the next one with y'all. It's just I had a jam-packed schedule and stuff, and I was just like, I want to bead with my
yeah,
friends. So Sam, since you're here, you have to plan a new one, and let me in on it again.
totally.
And I think he sent me another box too, because I saw the shipping notification. But I actually have a tutorial using his beads coming up next Tuesday. So
Oh,
I'll
you
be
do?
posting a. Mhm.
Cool. I want to see that.
Yeah, I myself and Joan have kind of scheduled it out, so it's in the pipe for dispersion of information. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to get all the info out there, and Joan is helping me. So it's in our scheduled time, and I got to use some beads from his new or his previous, I guess, because he has a new bead box out, but the one before that is the example that I made that I created using the beads from that particular bead box. So it was kind of fun, and it was a great mix of stuff, and I enjoyed it. All the different variety that he was able to include in it.
Was it the March box that you used? They have like the faces and the moons and
Yes,
I love.
loved all those things. What
That's so cute.
clever like collection of things. And I think my favorite one from that was actually the quartz like nuggets, I guess.
Those are gorgeous. I ended up using those, and to me,
I
something like
saw. I
challenge.
actually oh, I think I gave it to someone. I've been giving jewelry pieces to my customers that shop at SilverSilk, like because I've been compiling it too much from tutorials and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with any other stuff. So the stuff that my friends won't take, and the stuff that my customers love. I just started like putting it in their baggies. But I think I had given that one away. And I saw that you did a thing with jump rings and links that you attach like 3 crystals to a jump ring. So
Yeah.
I repeated that. So like this is where we all take each other's style, right? And use it for our own design. So I used something similar for my rendition of something that I was making, I think, for it was probably the Great Bead Extravaganza now that I think about it. But anyway, it served for a really great little element that I could introduce into my design.
Oh, that's cool.
I was
Yeah, it was
wanting
fun.
to flash it just now, but then I realized I gave it to somebody. I can't do that.
That's cool that you
just
give
have to take my word for it.
Because otherwise, you know, it just sits somewhere. Like I have a lot of stuff I've made, and it's just here. It's just hanging out. I'd love to do something with it. So that's really great.
My other thought process, because I still have, even if I gave stuff to my customers like each time that they ordered, I'd still have way too much stuff. So I'm wanting to find a local like place, like a nursing home or some sort of, I don't know, rehabilitation or something, just like something that might bring a smile to someone's face if they receive like a little gift or whatever. But I need to hop on that soon.
No, that's really cool.
All right, so
I think I've got the right length here.
I'm thinking the same on mine. I have to take it off and measure it though.
It's interesting. I think some of the seed beads I used on my other one might have been a little bit rounder because I got one extra repeat, but the length's the same. Hope it's all good though.
Let's see. You know what's fun? What I'm thinking, because you're going to be using soft flex wire, I wonder if, okay, here's, oh my God, I love this so much.
Aw, that's really pretty.
I'm so excited about it.
It's got great colors. It's just like the perfect like pop of summer.
I think so too. I think I might need to do an additional set here, but since you're going to do the bead stringing wire, I'm going to do memory wire.
Memory wire?
Okay. See if I can make it work that way.
Perfect. Yeah, so the bead stringing wire, all I did was I just took it off the loom here. And I'm just going to set that aside. Oh, and before I do anything else like cutting the pipe chain, I think I'm going to finish these ends. And all I have to do to finish those is burn them. And you can do that with your burner or with a lighter, or you could just use some glue and trim it, which is totally fine, like hypo cement. Another trick I've seen some like professional macrame folks do is they will use one of those like tapestry needles and they'll just feed the tails back through their square knot.
That's a good idea too.
There's a couple methods, but what I usually do is just trim it, and I trim it with a little bit of, like a tiny, maybe a couple millimeters or so, like about that much, right? And then I'll burn that flat and use my finger to flatten it.
Man, I need to get me one of those because that looks very handy to have.
And that just kind of like almost makes it like glue because it's just melting the plastic. Of the cord or the nylon, I should say.
Oh, I love how clean that finish is.
And it's you could come along after that and glue it in addition to this if you really wanted to make sure like it's extra secure. I've never had one come loose though.
Gotcha. Yeah, what I think I'll do is I'm going to save my ends for whenever I get the burner, because that to me seems very handy. And I can then go on to like secure the rest of it via manually and just leave the threads for later. I think I just muted
Oh
it.
yeah, and I just realized I should have mentioned the burner when I might not have mentioned it when I was doing the parts list. I just mentioned the materials. I always forget tools. Whenever I call out parts lists, I've noticed. But there's so many different ways that you could also do your knot. If you didn't want to do the burner, you could also just take those two ends and just do a double knot with those together. And if you put the double knot on the side that's going to be against your wrist, you won't even see it. That can work too.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, that looks so cute. I love
I love
those
it.
bright pops of pink between the teal there, and I feel like all the colors are just so joyful.
Yeah, I love it. It's a really pretty color. I think this might be my favorite pipe chain color.
Yeah, the green turquoise. I'm a sucker for that one, and I feel like now I've got a pretty good example with the. I'm eager to finish this tonight, so I hope I can hold you hostage for like 10 more minutes.
Of course you can. Yeah, that's so pretty.
Let me flash it on screen here. And this one was the orange seed bead mix, and the seed beads that we used were the size 6 seed beads. But Danielle said that you are not limited because you can use any size seed bead up to the size that your cording will fit in it. And so now I could just use some memory wire, which I think I've got some behind me in this tub of stuff. Aha! Conveniently cut to the size of a bracelet. How about that?
You got it ready.
Apparently I did. Current me thanks past me for having this established. So now I'm just feeding it through the pipe chain.
That's cool.
I feel like I need to wiggle it around a little bit to get into that shape. So I'm going to pass the camera back to you. Maybe you could teach us how to do the soft flex onto it.
Like, sure thing. Yeah. So just figuring out my length might be the first thing I would do before the next step. So I'm just going to look at how much bead length I've got here. And you can do that on Loom too. So I've got roughly 6. I'd like to make it closer to like 6.5. So I'm going to split that 1/4 inch between the top and the bottom. So here's my 1/4 inch here and my 1/4 inch here. I'm going to cut these 2 spots that I'm holding with my thumbs. So from here, I'm just going to eyeball it. There's that side. And I love that it just stays. Like I keep thinking I need to do something with the ends, and I don't, right? They're just perfect like they are.
Ooh, yeah. Yep. There's sometimes there's little wire bits there at the ends, but I feel like the mesh is so fine now that I've sort of mastered my knitting process that really there's not too much to worry about or pay attention to.
Oh yeah. No, I was watching your live that you did. I was just impressed that I didn't have to like use the tool or fold it down. Because for me, it's just gone perfectly like in place right there, and it won't come loose.
Yeah. No, I'm glad to hear that feedback for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a really cool design. I'm trying to decide on color for crimps. I think I might go with that because I have these darker like amethyst seed beads. So I feel like the gunmetal will be really cute. And I'm going to grab a clasp. I'm trying to remember if I did jump rings on these or not. I did not do jump rings. I was jump ringless.
No jumper. You could always make your own. Like I bet Rachel could do that.
Oh, I guarantee it. Yeah. I've always wanted to make my own bindings, like ear wires and stuff. And Sarah, she whips those up really quick.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't know how to do it. I've tried. Mine always look really. They look like I made them.
I bet they're better than that.
Well, I'm also kind of a perfectionist, so it gets really rough. Like if it isn't just like exactly like I wanted it, then I take it apart. So all I'm doing here is I'm just feeding my soft flex into the tube. And then I'm going to finish this end before I take it off the spool over here. So let's get my crimp wire. And, before I put the crimp on, I'm going to put some of my spacer beads. Let's do a couple of these. Why not? Super cute. And all these spacers these are just some little nugget spacers. They're a large hole nugget. You can use anything
are
for your
these
stuff.
are they from Tierra Cast, or is it a different brand?
They are, yeah, they're Tierra Cast. And I think I might have the part number handy somewhere. I don't know if that helps anybody, but there's the part number. It's 449 or something like that.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, I bet some of our TGBE peeps probably carry that, but I see that you sent me out some too, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
I love the finish on this one. This is that white bronze.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm kind of obsessed with it.
I think it's beautiful. So I had some issues with my memory wire, and I think it's because it's curled so much that it's hard to fit that. If I had cut the pipe chain into smaller bits, it's much easier, but to then pass down an entire piece was a little challenging. Just again, due to the curvature of the memory wire. So instead of fussing with it too much, I thought maybe I could just make a little wire, or turn a little piece of wire into a little clasp at the end here that might work just as well.
I think that'd be great.
I'm gonna try that. Oh, you made that look so easy. I'm sure it is, though.
Oh, it's super easy. Yeah, and the large hole spacer hides my crimp bead. But if you're making, like there's the ones that Sarah Ayler does where she makes the crimp into like a little bead. That's so cute. You wouldn't even need to do all that. It's just me making it, covering up that I only know how to classic crimp.
Which is perfectly fine, because I use that classic crimp style also, and nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I figure, it's cute. So I want to throw a charm on mine. And so I have my night one with my moon. So I'm going to put sunshine on this one.
Aw. So you got a night and day look.
Yeah. I'm wishing I had whenever I use pink, I feel like I need like an elephant charm or pink with cobalt or pink with green. I feel like I need something like that.
My chain nose pliers.
I don't have that one handy. So let's see. I'm going to close this one first.
One, two, three.
And so I'll do 2 beads, and then how did I do it here? I did 1 charm and 2 beads. I just thought that was cute.
Yes. I agree.
And there we go. Back through the crimp. And the only tricky part I had here was trying to get the crimp bead to not hide in the bead just yet. Not hide in the nugget spacer just yet. Because I need to actually be able to crimp it. So that was the tricky part for me.
Oh, yeah. What I do is I stick a piece of wire between the 2 wires that are...
Oh, yeah?
Just above so between the crimp and the first bead, I just put a little piece of wire there so that it prevents it from going in. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. That's what I should do. Let me see if I can get it to do that. That's perfect. See, I kind of want it to go like that, but I need to be able to crimp my bead. But what if I push these out of the way?
Well, that's just it. So you'll need a spare piece of wire.
Of this kind?
Yeah. You could even just use a snippet of that. And then, so you'll just string that between the space between the first bead and the crimp bead there.
Perfect.
Not the first bead, I guess, but the crimp bead and the first bead that you go through.
God, I just gotta rescue my crimp from in there. I'm gonna go.
Really fell through.
It did, yeah. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna string it again. Here we go. Okay, and so I'm gonna put this wire in here.
Well, it'll go through the loop that's between. So I'm not doing a very good job of explaining though.
No,
So
you're
let
doing great.
me
I'm being like, what?
let me see if I can
Here you go.
demonstrate.
Okay, so like that then, right?
Yeah, and then like when you loop it back through everything, or hang on, I think I'm not using my words today, so it might be easier if I just showed you.
No, I'm being so dense. I feel like. Here you go. 1 sec.
Okay, so and I wish I had bigger beads, but you know what? Let me do it.
Oh, you mean through the crimp bead?
So you'll string everything as you normally do, but the extra piece of wire is there to sort of guard between the crimp bead and the actual like other next bead that you have below it. And
Gotcha.
if I feel like if I set it up, it'll be easier to understand. So let's see. I have some beads, and then we'll pretend like this spacer bead is my crimp bead.
Okay.
And then we'll pretend, well, I've got a clasp right here. And I can use this nylon cord, in fact. So if your crimp bead is falling through the beads, my gosh, what you can do is, and I'll turn myself around here. There we go.
There you are.
Okay, you'll string through your crimp bead as you normally would, and I'll get my fingers out of the way.
Okay.
As soon as I string this. So, you know, this setup looks pretty normal there. So what I'm going to do is just create a little gap between my crimp bead and my other beads, and I will feed my wire, or in this case, my nylon thread between those two pieces of wire. And then I can tighten it to my heart's content without the bead falling through.
Brilliant. Okay, now I've gotcha.
Sorry. And again, I feel like I'm such a visual person that it's hard for me to explain just like with words. But that'll prevent your crimp bead from falling through. And then once you're done crimping, you just simply remove your little guard and you're good to go.
There we go. Oh my gosh. That's like way smart. Look at that.
Yes, yes. That's what I was trying to say, but I couldn't formulate the words to kind of get.
No, you're perfect.
You're perfect.
My brain today is like,
Vicky says, "Oh my gosh, he has a clasp." Only because Danielle provided it.
There we go. Okay,
so
I love that.
That's perfect. That's exactly.
I think what I did before was I actually shoved one of the nugget spacers right up at the top of the loop and crimped in between the two nuggets.
Oh yeah.
That might be what I did before, but it was one of those things where good luck doing that twice, you know? So when you shared your idea, I was like, no, I need to do it that way because that's going to work out way
that's the way that
more
because the
right?
crimping falling through things seems to be a very like popular trend with, you know, jewelry making in general, just because beads have different size holes. And so that little tip kind of saved other folks in the past with crimping. And so it can now fall through the beads because it doesn't matter.
And it gives it hair.
Pretty. I did
that's a great
wire.
tip. It's a much more repeatable way of doing it than the way that I had done it before. So it definitely.
I did my little, that's beautiful, Danielle. I need to add my charms, in fact, because I didn't do that. Should this be a daytime or a nighttime, or what should I do? Or is it an eclipse?
You could put both.
Yep. It'll just be an eclipse.
Yeah.
Is it a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse now? I'm just kidding. I don't know. There's so many choices.
I'm going to say solar because it's got such bright colors and it's more like dramatic.
Ooh. Okay. I can get behind that theory, that logic.
I like it.
Oh, just need to close this jump ring. Yeah, and so I ended up making mine with wire just because for those folks that don't have the beading wire maybe on hand, this is another option. And I made myself a little clasp,
Oh, wow.
little hook there at the end, and a little simple loop eye. And then that's just, I need to trim these two things off. Or I don't know, maybe I could put some beads on it and then tie it off that way.
Yes, that would be so cute. You could put little dangles on
I
it.
have all these beads that I haven't yet used, so that'd be kind of fun.
Oh yeah, and like little seed beads on it, even, or just anything really.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, a little bit of asymmetry, I guess, just for fun. And then I'm sure some lucky customer is going to get this. So.
Aw, that's so cool. Hey.
Yay! Well, let me flip us back. Let me flip it to you one more time, and you can show off your bracelets there. Yeah. Perfect.
So I've got night and day now.
You do. It's perfect. Quite the collection. I feel like this won't be my only time using. Of course not. Using the jewel loom. I'll be using it many more times thereafter. But I think just this technique, I'm going to be replicating this multiple times just for friendship bracelets and stuff. It's so fun and easy to do. So I'm going to take that camera off so we can both be on here now. Yay! I'm going to look real quickly for questions, but I feel like our gals on the back end here have been doing a phenomenal job for answering questions and just general chit chat and conversation. Let's see. Danielle, you could always get the ear wire forms from Beadalon because they have the little
those are
loom, or not looms. What are they called?
The little hook, like the jig. Is it like a jig?
Yes. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word.
I had the word in there and I couldn't find it.
The word's in there somewhere.
Yeah. That's a great idea. Thank you, Peggy.
And then folks love the little extra tip for the wire piece that I was trying to.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for sticking with me on that, because I was like, I knew you were saying something genius, and I was like, I need to know.
I know, and it's just like I feel like I know what I want to say, and then it just doesn't ever come out the way that I want it to, or it's been a long day and a long egg hunt.
Oh yeah, sounds like it was a fun egg hunt though. It's really cool.
It was a pretty fun egg hunt. So, well, I think we can conclude our evening, and I just want to say a big hug and thank you to Danielle for taking the time to teach us something fabulous that I feel like I've been better about completing my demonstrations as I'm doing them with my friends, and this is definitely no exception to a phenomenal design, and one that I think will inspire many others out there to give a try. So thank you, Danielle.
Thanks, Neely. Yeah, it's a beautiful design. I love those colors.
Thank you. Really great. Great technique that you came up with. And is there anything that we're missing that we need to tell folks about, or maybe some social media? If you want to plug your social media, where can they find you?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at Danielle Wickes Jewelry. And you can find me there. And I'm pretty good with messages if you have questions. So, yeah.
I think we're generally just trolling on the Sam's Beads, social media platforms too. I find myself there too. So yeah. And if you're wanting a bigger community, you can of course hop on over to us Silkies and our Facebook group. And then for the pipe chain, you can go over to silversilkonline.com and grab it there. And then I am as well on the Instagram. And then of course to my YouTube followers, I hope you'll give this video a big like. If you have any friends out there that might enjoy our content, please get them over to watching us and give us also another big thumbs up, and get them. Hopefully you guys will subscribe to our channel, and we're just trying to put out new videos, new tutorials constantly. I say we as in you're on it all the time, but Danielle is a gem and a treasure. I want her there all the time for sure. It's just you must give your creativity to other people in our industry, and I must share the love, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I can't steal you all to myself, even though I want to.
I need to ask you, are you going to go to Bead Fest in August? Still
I
thinking about it,
don't
maybe? Or
know. I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, it's travel. I think this year's just been a little bit weird for me, not because of, anything COVID or anything related. It's just my day job's just unusually busier than normal, and
is
so I'm
it?
having to kind of schedule a little bit of stuff around then. And in June, I haven't told this to everybody yet, so it is here now. But I was planning on taking all of June off from like new content creation, and it'll be my mid-year vacation time before I hop
Oh,
back
cool.
into creating a lot more content for the second half of the year. I do have a workshop that I'm planning for in June, so you guys won't be completely cut off from the Nile experience. It'll just be a little bit of a different format.
Okay.
Um, so that's gonna be coming up soon, and then yeah, I don't know. We'll I guess if I end up changing my mind and getting myself a plane ticket and stuff, I think folks will. I'll tell folks out there, but so far nothing concrete planned.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
you're
and I
really
want to
good
thank.
about oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying you're really good about taking those creativity breaks. I could learn from that. I just go
I think it's
so like all the time, and then I wonder why I'm tired. Yeah.
it's hard, and it's especially hard for
Yeah.
us creative folks because we're constantly having to like come up with new ideas and present it, and once
Yeah.
that's done, it's like you move on to the next thing and stuff. But like, there's got to be a time in the year, at least June and December are for me a time to like kind of just slow down and harness that creativity again, because I put so much stuff out there that I need to like kind of take back some energy and
For
try and come
sure.
up with some new ideas or new ways to present some stuff in SilverSilk. So yeah, some designated on the calendar breaks is always welcomed, and it gives us something to look forward to, I guess. From
Recharges you. Yeah, that's brilliant.
yeah,
It's good.
so I
Yeah.
advise you when you can just take them.
Yeah.
And I would say with the family and everything, it's I can imagine, like, I don't know how you're always so composed and so just like you seem relaxed and just like energetic and happy and stuff, and it's just that's why I think I want you with our SilverSilk brand all the time, because you bring that joy to us.
Oh,
So I
thanks.
always appreciate you.
Oh, you guys. Well, you guys see me when I'm beading, and so that's my happy place. So that's one of the things that makes it easier. It's you know, I get to do this. Like it's more of a treat for me.
That's yeah. I do have to pinch myself sometimes because I'm like, even making
Wow,
this,
same here.
it's
Like
like it was just so like
so
stress
fun.
free and got to hang out with my friends, and so that's definitely the other half of it's not always work. It is play that we get to do.
Yeah, for sure.
So, alrighty. Well, I think we're gonna hop off, and again, I just want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. We've got a fantastic tutorial coming up next week that I hope you'll join us, me for. I'll be
Yeah.
creating some stuff from Sam's bead box and getting you guys inspired that way. So,
Cool.
big hugs to you out there, everyone out
Thanks,
there.
everybody.
I do this weird like wait, because that's like hugging, right? Or is that like too invasive? I don't know. I just do it because it's fun. So big hugs to you guys out there, and we'll just see you on the social medias. Mwah.
Thanks, you guys.